Welcome to the Parenting Lab podcast. I'm your parent coach, Brittany, and I am here to guide you into the calm, clarity, and connection you're looking for as you transform your parenting from the inside out. Let's get started. Hey friends, and welcome back to the Parenting Lab. I'm so glad you're here because today we are talking about something that every single one of us has had to face in parenting. How to repair when we mess up. How to say, I'm sorry, in a way that actually lands, that actually heals. You know that moment, we've all had them, the one where you know you were too harsh, you snapped, you shut down, and the guilt creeps in, and you want to make it right. But what does making it right actually mean? Well, I want to walk you through that today. We're going to talk about the art of repair. And I'm calling it that on purpose because this really is a skill, a practice, and honestly, an art form. It's exactly the kind of thing I'm referring to when I talk about the art and science of parenting. What this isn't is a quick fix. It's not just about saying the right words and getting a gold star for apologizing. It's not even a script, even though there are steps that I'm going to walk you through. It's about connection, ownership, and modeling the kind of relationship skills we hope our kids will one day carry into their lives. I'm going to preface this conversation with what is becoming my mantra on this podcast. Your kids don't need perfection, they need connection. And repair is what keeps connection intact when rupture happens. What is rupture? Anything that disrupts the peace and flow of your home, your relationship, your conversations, and especially your nervous system. Rupture is inevitable. You will lose your temper. You will misunderstand. You will miss a need or a bid for affection. You'll speak from stress and pain. But going back to what we learned last week in episode 19, it's what happens next that matters most. So let's walk you through what it actually looks like to repair well. And I'll even give you a moment for my own parenting that I wish I could go back and do differently. When we think about apologizing, tell me if some of these phrases sound familiar, okay? Say you're sorry. Say it like you mean it. Give them a hug. Just make up and move on. Or the classic, I'm sorry, but... Okay, raise your hand if you've heard these types of platitudes from your own parents. And keep your hand up if you've used these with your own kids. Oh my gosh, my hand is up. I should probably put both my hands up. The thing about these kinds of on-demand apologies is that they sound really nice in theory, like a tiny little ritual that will magically smooth things over, but they skip over the parts that actually matter. They teach kids to perform an apology, not to really experience one, okay? They prioritize politeness over connection. And they often rush everyone right past the emotional truth of what just happened. So, let me ask you this. Have you ever really believed someone when they apologized to you, but only because someone else told them to? Like maybe you were in grade school and a teacher stepped in and said, you go say sorry. And then the kid comes over with like a half-hearted sorry while avoiding eye contact and maybe kicking the ground. Really think about this. In that moment, did you feel seen? Did you feel understood? Did anything inside of you soften and heal? Probably not. But hey, if I'm wrong about that, please feel free to send me your story because I would love to hear how that worked out. Because from what I've seen over and over and over is that apologies without depth don't land. They don't mean anything. They don't repair the rupture. And sometimes they actually make things worse by invalidating the hurt or brushing it under the rug. So, what does really matter? Is it saying sorry? Is it feeling sorry? Or expressing sorrow in a way that makes space for the impact of what happened? Because when a child, or anyone really, hears an apology that says, I hurt you, I see that, and I care about what that was like for you. Something in you softens. something repairs, something opens and expands. And that is the kind of apology that we're going to talk about today. Not the performative kind, not the guilt dumping kind, not the "I'm sorry, so now can we pretend it didn't happen" kind, but the kind that reconnects what was broken and rebuilds trust one honest, heart-led moment at a time. And let me tell you, this has to start with you. Before you can teach your kids or expect them to follow this pattern, you have to buy in and start practicing. So with that in mind, let's break down the real steps of repair, the kind that builds trust. I'm going to go through the steps first, and then I'll show you what this might sound like in an actual conversation. Okay? So, step 1, connect. This means getting down on their level, noticing the body language, being physically present, but not overwhelming. You might say, "Hey, can I come sit by you?" Or, "I noticed you walked away. I just want you to know that I'm here." Step 2, ask consent. Repair is a relational act, which means it's shared. It's an interaction. It's not something you do to someone. It's something that you invite. So this sounds like, "Hey, would it be okay if I shared something with you about earlier?" Or even, "Is now a good time for me to check in with you about what happened this morning?" If they say no, that's okay. That's information. That means they maybe need more time. And your job is to honor that, not push past it. So maybe you walk away and make your bid later. Step 3, make an empathy guess. This is where you step into their experience, not your own. You might say, "I imagine you felt hurt when I yelled." Or, "I wonder if you felt alone when I walked out." Or, "I could be wrong, but maybe it felt scary when my voice got loud." It doesn't have to be perfect. Just the trying tells your child, "I see you, and I care about what that was like for you." Step 4, acknowledge the action. Now it's time to name what you did, not vaguely, specifically. Okay? So it could sound something like, "Because of my choice to yell instead of take a deep breath," or "because I interrupted you instead of listening." Okay? This is not the time to blame or explain. Just own it, plain and clear. Step 5, express regret with impact. This is the heart of the repair. You're naming your impact. "I regret yelling because it looked like I really scared you." Or, "Regret rushing you out the door. I could see how overwhelmed you were, and I added to that." This is not about defending your actions or explaining your intentions. This is about saying, "I see the weight of what I did, and I care that it hurt you." You're not trying to wrap things up with a bow or get reassurance that you're still a good parent. You're just sitting with the truth of the impact. Because sometimes the most healing thing that we can do is just name what happened with tenderness and with courage and without turning away. Just really owning it. Okay? Step 6. Make a commitment. Now, this is about showing that you want to do better and that you're working on it. So this sounds something like, "You know what? Next time, I will take a breath before I speak." Or, "I'm learning to notice when I'm getting activated so that I can learn to stay more calm." And it's okay if you haven't mastered it yet. Okay? That's what the commitment is for. Step 7. Share your calming strategies. This is such a powerful modeling moment. Let them hear what your self-regulation looks like in action, okay? So maybe it's, "Right now, I'm putting my hand on my chest to help me calm down." Or, "I've been doing some deep breaths to help me reset my body today." This not only shows them how to regulate, but it normalizes the fact that everyone needs some of these sensory calming tools. And lastly, step 8, offer support. You can ask, "Would it be okay if I stayed nearby?" Or, "Do you want a hug or maybe some space from me?" Or, "Can I help you get a snack or cozy up with your blanket?" It's a gentle offer. No pressure, no fixing, just support if they want it. Okay? So now that we have the basic steps laid out, I want to share a quick story with you. There was a time when my son, he's 20 now, but when he was little, and I just had a horrible morning. I'm sure you can relate. I was rushing, I was stressed, and I totally snapped at him for dragging his feet. I was sharp and dismissive, and honestly, I just wanted control of that moment. We just needed to get out the door. Later on, I realized that I had probably been too harsh because he was really, really quiet, and I could tell that he was sad. And I remember saying something like, hey, buddy, I'm so sorry that I yelled at you, okay? You were being really, really slow, and I was so frustrated trying to get in the car, but I shouldn't have snapped. Can you forgive me? Oh my gosh. Yikes. Looking back, I can see so many things wrong with that moment, and probably countless other moments just like that one, because I can tell you that most of my apologies sounded like that. I centered my experience, okay? I justified my behavior, and in doing that, I minimized his feelings, and I asked for forgiveness before he'd even had space to feel what he was feeling. That was a bad apology. And honestly, it probably didn't help either one of us feel very much closer. Now, let me contrast that with a different kind of apology. One that shows what it looks like when you really slow down and walk through these steps, okay? Hey, buddy, is it okay if I sit here? I was hoping to apologize for what happened earlier today. Are you open to hearing me out? Oh, thank you. I imagine that you're feeling a bit confused and maybe frustrated about what happened this morning when I got really stressed and yelled at you. I am so sad that I lost control of my emotions and it hurt you. We were both hoping for a smooth morning, but then it got really intense. Next time, I'm going to get everything ready before the morning. That way I'm not rushing. That, I think, will help me stay calm. I've been taking a lot of deep breaths today to help me feel calm, and I know that it's helped a lot. For now, would it be okay if I gave you a hug? I love you so, so much, and I'm so sorry that I wasn't a safe space for you today. That moment feels different. It feels like repair. Not perfection, not performance, but real healing connection. Now, did you notice what I didn't do? I didn't ask for forgiveness. This might be a huge mindset shift for you, and that is a good thing. But why don't we include forgiveness in repair? Because a meaningful repair is not about you feeling better. It's not about getting a quick, oh, that's okay, or seeing your child smile so that you can exhale and move on. And it is definitely not about being forgiven right away. In fact, asking for forgiveness too soon can actually completely hijack the moment. Think about it. When we say things like, I'm sorry, will you forgive me? Especially right after a rupture, what we're often really saying is, I feel uncomfortable with what I did, and I need you to tell me that I'm not a bad person. Please help me feel better about what happened. And look, that is a very human impulse. Of course we want to know we're still loved. Even as adults, we want to know we're still loved. Of course we want to feel close again. But asking for forgiveness before your child has had time to process what happened puts you at the center. Your guilt, your emotions, your need for relief instead of their experience. It subtly shifts the dynamic from, I hurt you and I want to make space for your pain, to, I hurt you and now I need you to comfort me so that I can feel better. And that puts pressure on the child, or anyone really, to move on before they're ready. To take care of your emotions before they've had time to sort through their own emotions. Okay? True repair means holding space without rushing resolution. It means staying present with their feelings, even if they're messy or uncomfortable or quiet or withdrawn, and letting them take the lead on when or if they're ready to offer forgiveness. Forgiveness, when it comes, should be a gift, not a request. Not something you reach for to ease your own discomfort, but something they offer when their heart is ready. That's how we teach our kids that their boundaries matter, that their emotions are valid, and that trust is rebuilt with time, not just words. And you know what? Sometimes forgiveness doesn't come with words at all. Kids don't always say, "Mommy, I forgive you." But you might notice when their body softens. Maybe they lean into your hug. They start talking to you again, or bring you a book to read, or maybe scoot a little closer on the couch. That's their way of saying, "I'm ready to reconnect." It's subtle and it's sacred. And it only happens when they feel safe, when they feel seen, and when they know that they don't have to rush. So stay present, stay open, and let their forgiveness be something that emerges, not something that you pull from them before they're ready. Okay? So here's the truth. You're going to mess up. I'm going to mess up. That's not the problem. The question is, what will we do next? Repair is sacred. It's where trust is rebuilt. It's where shame dissolves. It's where your child learns that relationships can hold both hurt and healing. And when you model this over and over and over again, you're not just teaching your children how to apologize. You're teaching them how to stay connected even when things get hard. So next time you feel that guilt rise in your chest, just remember, you don't have to get it right every time. You just have to show up, stay honest, and hold space for the impact of your actions. That is what real repair looks like. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. I would love to hear your thoughts on what we've covered today, so please leave a comment and let's talk about it. I know this can be a little bit different way of approaching apology. As always, I hope you'll join me next week where we will continue to explore the art and science of parenting and put your parenting to the test. Talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to the Parenting Lab podcast. For our complete catalog of online courses, free resources, or to join our mailing list, please visit theparentinglab.org. See you next time.